Hey guys, it's Evan here and welcome back to World of Warships. And this time I'm reviewing the Tier 5 Imperial Japanese Navy battleship, the Congo. The Congo is most likely the most popular Tier 5 battleship in this game. It's kind of like an IS-3 in World of Tanks. It's really unique because it's a very good all-rounder. It has great speed, great guns. Great anti-aircraft, well not great anti-aircraft, decent anti-aircraft, it can shut down quite decent number of planes. The only thing that's bad about it is, well, I'll tell you about it later. Well, there's probably more things, but the biggest one is kind of a big one. Anyways, let's move on. Let's start with the stats. The survivability is 54,100 hit points, which is the most out of any Tier 5 battleship. Better than the New York, which has 49,100. Texas has the same as the New York. And the Koenig has 47,100 hit points. The Koenig has the least hit points. As for the armor, however, this is the least armored ship of the Tier 5 battleships. This thing has 203mm maximum armor. The New York has 305mm of maximum armor, and the Koenig has 350mm of maximum armor, which is the Koenig is the most armored battleship of the Tier 5. And the Koenig is starting to be quite popular now. However, I still don't think it's as popular as the Congo, and that's probably because the Congo was the first Tier 5 battleship ever to be put in this game. Well, the only battleships there were in this game when it first came out were just Japanese battleships, nothing else. Well, in the closed beta. But you could still play it in the closed beta, not really, you didn't have to pay anything. The torpedo protection damage reduction is 25%, which is okay. It's not great, it's not bad. So that's still better than North Carolina. I mean, it kind of hurts my heart that North Carolina has only 19% torpedo damage reduction, which is very bad, especially for a tier 8 battleship. I mean, come on. Anyways, the artillery. It has 4 turrets. Each turret has 2 guns, and those guns are 14-inch or 356mm cannons. These cannons at tier 5 are a bit, well, meh, really. I mean, they hit hard if they hit, but they're not very accurate. And usually when it hits, it also has a very bad habit of overpenning stuff. I mean, last day I fired 5 salvos at a French cruiser, which was like 10 kilometers away, and all I got was over penetrations. This thing can troll you, but when it doesn't, oh, it's a good ship. Anyways, the secondary armament is consisted of 4 dual 127mm secondary armament, which is also anti-aircraft. It's dual purpose. Anyways, and also 14 152mm secondary cannons, which are very useful. They have quite decent punching factor, which hopefully I'll show you in the next clip. Well, there's going to be only one game, and it will be a pretty good game as well. And the main battery firing range on this ship is very good, managing up to 21.2 kilometers, which is the most out of any Tier 5 battleship. The second one in place is the New York. Anyways, the anti-aircraft defense consists of 4 dual 13.2mm machine guns, 4 quadruple 13.2mm machine guns, 6 dual 25mm machine guns, well, there's cannons actually, these are cannons, and 4 dual 127mm, as we saw them previously at secondary armament. They are dual purpose. The anti-aircraft defense in total consists of 35 without any skills or upgrades. I don't have any upgrades on this ship, so sorry about that, really. Anyways, maneuverability. It is also the fastest ship of the tier 5, having a speed of 30 knots. The turning circle radius on the other hand is not that great of 770 meters, but it's acceptable because some ships in this game have over a kilometer of turning circle, which is quite bad. Weather shift time is 14.9, which is also acceptable. It isn't great, but it isn't bad. The concealment is the one thing that I hate about this ship the most, because it gets spotted immediately. It's 16.2 kilometers away. You can be spotted. And the detectability range by air is 11.7 kilometers, although you can significantly reduce that by adding Concealment Expert on this ship with skill. So now we're at skills. The first thing actually would probably the best to put the preventive maintenance on this ship. I went for the priority target because it also kind of helps, but the best thing is probably the preventive maintenance. You can go for either one of these, but best one is probably the preventive maintenance for a tier 1 skill. Tier 2, always, and absolutely always, for the Battleship, Adrenaline Rush, because it's minus 0.2% reload time of all types of armament for each 1% of hit point lost. That means that when you're at a very low health, your reload can drop to, well, very low, like 22 seconds, which is a significant decrease. Especially when you're playing battleships, because they have the longest reloads, and the longest reloads are the ones that have the most effect with the skill. At tier 3, you get the basic firing training, or the superintendent, either your choice, both are very good. Or you could also go for the vigilance, plus 25% to acquisition range of torpedoes, since, well, you're not in the most agile ship, and you're also in a battleship, so and it's very long battleship, so there's that. Do not go for the survivability expert because these things are just stupid, or basics of survivability. Although this one might be at least a little bit useful, but the most important ones are these two here, and also the vigilance. But I would really only focus on these two, the superintendent and the basic firing training. As for the tier 4 skills, obviously you can ignore these because you don't need IFHE on the battleship. You're in a battleship, you fire AP at everything. Except for destroyers, but you're not gonna shatter on a destroyer. Anyways. Air supremacy always not, you're not an aircraft carrier. One thing that you should get is, well, you can have a choice between advanced firing training and the concealment expert, but for the Congo or any kind of battleship, I'll first go for the concealment expert because it will. And now I must apologize for being disconnected from the game. Anyways, let's get straight back to where we were. So, at tier 4 skills, you get the concealment expert because it will drastically decrease your spotting range. Every single time you're in a battleship, in my opinion, that's the best skill to get. Because 16% of the detectability range, well actually no, 14% for battleships is very good. The next thing you should probably get is the advanced firing training. Increasing, well, quite drastically increasing your anti-aircraft defense. Or also the manual fire control for AA armament, but that's not really good for battleships. That's more of a cruiser thing, really. So for battleship, concealment expert, and the advanced firing training. Always the first thing you should get this, and then the second one, this. Right, as for the upgrades, I don't have any. But I always go for the main armament modification because I don't know why. It's just, it makes so much improvements to a lot of things. Secondly, you could go for the main battery modification, or the anti-aircraft guns modification, or the secondary battery modification. You have choice of these three. I will not go for the aiming systems. Secondary batteries on this ship are very good, so I can get that. Anti-aircraft guns, they do increase the anti-aircraft guns pretty well, so you probably should get the anti-aircraft gun modification too. Or the main battery modification, because 5% to main battery loading time, which is weird, and 15% to main battery traverse speed. That said though, 5% to main battery loading time is not very good. So what I then should get is the anti-aircraft modification or the secondary battery modification. These two things are your option. And the last, propulsion modification, you don't need that, you're fast enough and you're not gonna have your engine encapsulated because you're in a battleship. Maybe if you're in the destroyer, yes. The risk of fire, damage control system modification 1, probably this one, and steering gear modification, you could also get that. These two, although the best one's probably the damage control system modification 1. Don't go for the propulsion modification though. Anyways, even the stock this battleship has decent range of 19.3 kilometers, although stock engine only goes to 25 knots. Well, only. It's not really only, is it? Also, the camouflage. What I'm using now is what you shouldn't. It's a New Year's 2017 camouflage. I just use this Tier 5 just to get rid of it. Because Tier 5 nobody really plays, well not many people play seriously. But for when you're in higher tiers, for battleships it's always important to get the Type 5 camouflage. And, well, pretty much in every ship this thing is the best. I mean, other two only do one thing, but this thing does both of those things at the same time. And that's very good. Plus it's not, well, it's quite expensive, but it's worth it. As for the flags, well, signals, not flags. Flags are something completely different, which I have quite a lot of them. I just put a close beta test on it because why not? It's always good to see that you were in there, but other people weren't. Anyways, the flags. The November Echo Settle 7, 10% to average damage per secondary of a AA mounts, and 10% to average damage per second of self-defense armament for aircraft with rare gunners. This basically increases your anti-aircraft defense even more by 2. Mike Yankee Sock 6, 5% to secondary battery maximum firing range, and well, it's basically a secondary battery flag. You can read it, I'm not gonna read it because it's gonna waste my time. Another one is Hotel Yankee, pretty much good for ramming. You can read it. You do gain quite a lot of this. India Yankee, minus 20% the time of fire extinguisher. That's useful because you're in a battleship and cruisers will shit with high explosive on you, so that's not good. Juliet Charlie, 100% minus 100% to the risk of your ship's magazine detonation, which is very useful because, you know, you don't want to get detonated. Minus 20% to flooding recovery time, also useful. Torpedoes are dangerous and they're not easy to avoid when you're in a battleship, especially as long as the Congo. So that's useful. Another one, the India Delta, plus 20% to the amount of high HP recovered when the repair party consumable is used. Also very useful. And the last one, the November Foxtrot, minus 5% to real time of consumables. I usually go for the Sierra Mike as well, which increases your speed by 5%, but you don't need that because you're in a Congo and your speed is more than good enough at 30 knots. So anyways, let's see how this thing performs in a battle. So here we are, and we are on the map Ring, in obviously the Congo class battleship. I already fired a little onto that Like Garrison, yeah, but nothing happened. Well, I got no hits. Anyways, this replay is also gonna be a bit, well, kind of all in, really. Because I wasn't really stopping anytime. Well, apart from one time, which I did run into an island. And here we go into the Galissonier, and again a miss. That was a bit poorly aimed, but I gotta say that the Galissonier was dodging pretty well. At least at the start of this game, though. Later on, he's gonna be playing like he has never played this game before, which is weird. Anyways. Another salvo at La Galissonier. Why? Because I just want to get citadels on that thing. And again, almost all missed, but one, which did 3,366 damage. There are two New Yorks on the enemy team. Both of them are very close together, but they're not in a division, which is interesting enough. Next salvo is gonna be on La Galissonier, yeah, of course it's gonna be. And that's La Galissonier, I gotta say to you, he was lucky. I mean, he was keep saying broadside on to us, and nothing else happened than over pens. Oh, lucky, 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 eh? So up to 5,000 damage so far, which isn't a very good number to be proud of. And this is what I was talking about. This ship does have a habit of overpenning stuff a lot. Although less than the Miyogi, because the Miyogi overpenned pretty much anything it saw. Miyogi was really a pain in the ass to play because nothing really did any citadels, it was just always overpens. Of course there were citadels from time to time, but mostly it was just overpens. Anyways, I'd say a decent hit of 4,000 damage to him, but, well, no citadels. Because when you're in a battleship, what you want are citadels. Next salvo is going to be into that New York, who is sailing broadside currently. I wasn't going to shoot the one that is closer to me because he's not showing such a nice sight, and 4,300 damage could be better, but hey, can't fight RNG. Next salvo again. It's quite hard to commentate in these battleships because, well, not a lot of things are happening really, especially at low tiers. Higher tiers probably be easier because people are more, and that was no hits. And talking about dispersion, the Congo has absolutely, well, quite horrendous dispersion really. That's another thing that I don't like about this battleship. The dispersion is really bad. But then again, pretty much any tier 5 battleship has terrible dispersion. Things get better only when you reach like tier 7. Although some tier 6 battleships do have pretty decent dispersion. New York I'm looking at, no, not New Mexico, I'm looking at that, yeah. And there we go! Overpanned into the Citadel by the New York in front of me. How the fuck did he do that? I have no idea. Well, I just say it was luck. Because that's always a good explanation, isn't it? All luck, no skill. Again, 4,300 damage, just like before, but this time I didn't get his turret knocked out. So far we're on 18,000 damage. Not bad. Well, it actually is pretty bad, but we're slowly gaining on damage. And I'm also platooning with my friend, Yoko Fobo, who is also playing in the Congo. We have decided to push together because, hey, if one Congo isn't fearsome enough, two of them are unstoppable. Oh look, that guy on the other hand is giving me pretty decent side, I gotta say for that. And he did, actually he didn't. Okay, let's be happy then. That hit was 15,000 damage, there we go, that's more like it. That's what I want in a battleship. Getting figures like that. 15,000 damage in one cell is much better than previous ones. Okay, I have no idea how the hell did he miss that. So close. And that's, I think, is going to be my kill. Yes, it is. He managed to get some damage before before he managed to hit me. Well, before I managed to kill him, but 3,300. Wow, this 3,000 number, man, on that New York. It's just horrendous. Well, we have a guy on our team whose name is Scharnhorst, literally Scharnhorst, who is not really helping the team other than bitching about. Just a little message to all those who do bitch about a lot in the chat about noobs. Please don't, because you are not helping the team at all. Said that, however, I just set down an angled New York, which is also nice. 14,000 damage to that. Now with a total of 53,300 damage. 26 hits, 1 critical hit and 1 ship destroyed. But from now here on in, after that hit, that New York is going to be playing a bit more cautiously. And again, 3,000. There's something about that 3,000 number with that New York, man, I tell you. It's just... wow. And this was the Nova Pen of 1020. My friend in the Congo, I always want to say New York because I used to play New York a lot. My friend in the Congo is also shooting at him, however he's not having such great luck as me. He's overpenning a lot. And I do mean a lot. At the end of the game he's going to do half of the damage that I'm going to do. That was a 2,700 damage. It was a meh hit. And now he's starting to angle, well. Which kind of gives me the time to... well, turn the guns around and aim at that little boy over there. Is it gonna hit? Is it gonna hit? Is it gonna hit? Oh yes, it's gonna hit. Didn't kill him, but I did get a very good hit on him. Only one of them hit, but it was a citadel. However, here comes the elephant in the room. The Bujani. I gotta say, there's something about the Russian cruisers that I hate. They really have high arcs, and they really like to set things on fire. Happily, that Bujani wasn't really hurting me in this game that much, but in general, they do. 7,000 damage to that Congo was a pretty good hit. And here comes the Bujani. Oh, how we love Bujanis, don't we? And at this point, I'm just like, kill the New York, please, because then that guy is not gonna be able to shoot at me. At this point, I just say, screw it. I don't care if he's angled. I just try, and this was just a terrible dispersion. Let's just say that. However, somebody has hit him quite hard, and now he has 1,000 hit points left, and now he's dead. And that means there's some breathing space for me. And at this point, there was a bit of a thought in my brain, because, well, Dunkirk appears. However, I don't look ahead of me, and if you saw that island before, well, that island's gonna become my best friend for a minute now. Which is bizarre because it warns me like, I don't know, 50 meters before I hit it. Anyways, whatever. That Dunkirk on the other hand is not giving us the most of his armor really. He's just giving us easy damage, to be honest. Although I'm not getting any good hits on him. That was 2,400, which is pretty bad for a ship that is showing you so much side. And here comes a friend, whose name is Bujani. I so hate those Russian cruisers, man. There's something about them. Although happily he's not gonna be useful. Okay, 2 hits, 3,300, also not great. For a ship that gives you full-on broadside, but whatever. Although, getting all these overpans and small damages, and you do them a lot of times consistently, you end up with a pretty decent damage of 88,900 damage so far. That's not the final damage, but it is gonna be over quite soon. Here comes the Bajoni, the ships. Well, the ship that I quite hate. And this looks quite decent. Oh man. Well, he only has a little bit of hit points left, so one hit, doesn't matter if it's gonna be an overpan or not, it's gonna kill him. Just repair my ship a little bit, because why not? That's terrible dispersion again, and none of them are gonna hit. Actually, I got one overpan, never mind. 94,300 damage. It's okay. It's okay. This, by the way, is not my best game in the ship. My best game was... well, I wanted to feature my best game, but my best game was from the previous patch and I couldn't put it on. However, I made this game yesterday, so here we are. And the best game I had was 120,000 damage. And it was a very lucky game. I managed to kill the enemy ship when they had 996 points. Which was quite... well, lucky, because I had to depend on my secondaries. And that was no hits. I'm surprised. I'm really surprised that didn't hit. Come on, get some decent... I just want one more decent hit on a ship. Come on. Rare gun turrets, don't let me down. And... well, it was an alright hit. 6,400 damage. And now we're capturing this area here. Here comes the Leander. I do manage to... well, actually, never mind. They all go in the island anyway. Oh, I think I might need to reverse a bit. Ah, never mind. They don't have the range anyways. Okay. And I think this is pretty much gonna be it for this game. So we've done a bit over 100,000 damage in the Congo. I hope this does help you if you're considering buying a ship or not. Yeah, it's a good ship, fine ship. And this is pretty much it for this ship review. I hope you enjoyed it, even though you probably didn't, because I'm terrible at doing reviews. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Belong. Tomorrow I'll be gone, don't cry. Mama, don't cry. I'm burning down this town. So if you see